So let's talk about the first Phase 4 MCU project, WandaVision. That's right, not far from home, because that was actually the end of Phase 3. Don't ask me why, I don't make the rules. So, this one was a very surprising entry in the MCU because I didn't think it'd turn out the way it did. Let me give you a quick run through of the series. It's a limited series and something I like to refer to as an event series because it's not meant to be ongoing but simply establish events that can't be covered in the movie either due to the character's popularity being a risky factor, the story that needs to be told needing more than shared screen time in a 2 hour movie, or just the creators liking the character enough to give them something that contributes to the universe. WandaVision stars one of my celebrity crushes, Elizabeth Olsen, alongside Paul Bettany as the two characters whose names make up the title. The show starts with the sitcom setting. By the looks of it, it's set in the 50s, complete with the aspect ratio, laugh track, comedy style, simplistic story, and outdated special effects. I'm not kidding, and neither were they. They really went all in on this one. Story goes as Wanda and Vision settle into the new neighborhood that they moved to, and they're trying to hide their wrong IP, their enhanced abilities from their unsuspecting neighbors. The episodes proceed like normal sitcoms, but every now and then we see something that raises eyebrows and questions. Like, where did she get that outfit? Eventually, Wanda and Vision have kids, and these kids are born after like a day of pregnancy. We then find out that everyone there is trapped in some energy field, and the government agency called SWORD is trying to figure out what's going on. We're introduced to Hayward, Monica Rambeau, and meet Jimmy Woo and Kat Dennings. Sorry, I mean Darcy, again from other MCU movies. We also found out that all this madness is being caused by Wanda, who, in her grief over having lost Vision and not being able to say a proper goodbye to him due to being dead or snapped, created this hex and trapped everyone in it in order to live out her childhood sitcoms. Things go down. Vision puts together what's happening and tries to reason with Wanda. A witch is discovered to have infiltrated the town and wants Wanda's power. Wanda defeats her and releases the town, which kills Vision and erases the kids. She is then seen reading a kind of dark Bible about her called the Darkhold, and we hear a girl crying out for help. We can only assume that it's America Chavez, slated to appear in Doctor Strange and a couple of alternate realities. And the multiverse of madness. Now then, on to talking about the show. I must say, when I heard about it, I thought it'd be some girl power, girl boss, infallible, no nonsense, tough as nails, invincible, crazy, powerful, immediately trustworthy. Sorry, I was dozing off for a bit. I thought it would be a boring project, but hey, I was so wrong about it. WandaVision did something MCU hadn't done in a long time: show characters living their lives outside of fighting villains with problems to overcome that are not tied to stopping the villain. It's mostly about Wanda and her grief. She lost a lot in her life, and it became more frequent once she joined Hydra. She lost her brother and then her boyfriend twice. She first killed him, and then she watched him get killed by a guy who broke vibranium with his fingers. Perhaps we need an explanation for that, Mr. Feige. No? Okay. Anyway, we got to see her explored in ways that the other movies couldn't. We get to see her childhood and her family life. We get to see how she became orphaned. And the most interesting thing is that they retconned her from being a person who got powers from the Mind Stone to simply being born with them and having explicit access to them only after Hydra's experiments. It brings her closer to the comic version, who has also gone through a retcon due to very petty reasons back in 2015. She's a real person here, not an icon, not a role model. She's flawed. She makes selfish decisions that she's fully aware of. She punishes anyone who gets too close to the truth, and, well, she's the villain of the story. Not this guy. Her, kind of. I mean, why'd you kill the dog? Like, still, all she wanted was to take Wanda's power to do stuff with it, which would lead to the people being free. In the end, she doesn't suffer any consequences for her actions and just goes away. Wanda, I mean. I like how she's not a victim anymore and is in the gray. Now, Vision. Paul Bettany is the only actor left from the first MCU movie. We still don't know if Gwyneth Paltrow wants to reprise her role for Armor Wars or not. His role expanded vastly from being Stark's AI to Ultron's son. Just so we know, Jarvis is a person in the comics, and Vision was made with the brainwaves of Simon Williams, aka Wonder Man. Don't ask. The show starts with him alive and well, and we're left with questions as to how it's possible until they show us that he's actually dead, but the Hex is somehow making him alive. Why can't Wanda just use that power to reanimate him? Okay. He starts going to work daily, and we get to see what he'd be like in a domestic life. He'd be pretty chill. He's a loving husband, a hardworking employee, and surprisingly funny when drunk or corrupted. He starts to ask questions about what's going on until it finally occurs to him that this is all wrong. But he already married Wanda at this point, and they have children. What can they do? He tries to stop everything, trading his life once again for the greater good. Good job, Viz. You're a real stand up guy. Next, we have Monica Rambeau, daughter of Captain Marvel's best friend. She's an interesting addition to the show because we see her living comfortably and happily in an American neighborhood in the 60s despite her hair color being different. She's good. She's really good. I mean, look at her. She has beef with Captain Marvel or something. I liked her in the start, but then she started to become preachy, fangirly, and kind of self righteous. She tries her hardest to defend Wanda, who quite practically kicked her out of the Hex for questioning it. She stood up to her boss, was actually just taking his job seriously. Unlike her, she was making it somehow personal. And I have serious questions about how a magical Hex gave her science based powers.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
And by the way, no, girl, they don't need to understand how much Wanda sacrificed in order to forgive her for putting them through mental psychological anguish for however long that Hex was up for in order to cope with her loss. No, that's not a really good way to end things, but okay, you're a fangirl, we get it, but nah. Then there's this guy, Hayward. The show is clearly undecided about this guy. One moment he's being shown as your seventh planet. The next moment, you see that he's actually right. The show was rooting against him, but it just couldn't. I mean, he gives Wanda a chance to not only see Vision, but to bring him back. She doesn't. She then leaves the premises, comes back to steal him, then bring him back to life anyway. Hayward was just retrieving government property since Stark was alive and around for 5 years after Vision died and didn't claim the body. The government did. Monica constantly disobeys him, so he benches her and tries to confront Wanda, the same Wanda that's holding a whole town hostage. And Kat Dennings, Darcy, Monica, and Jimmy Woo gang up on him for doing just that. You people do realize that Wanda is fully aware of what she's doing and is getting rid of anyone who tries to do anything about it, right? Monica, she told you this, no? Government boss guy has to be evil? Yeah, I'm not buying it. He's right.
No, no, stand down!
Yeah, I'm still not buying it. I'm not buying it, you showrunners. Those kids are imaginary. They were conceived without sex and were gestated in a day. Also, can we please talk about how Wanda has the ability to create life? Think about the moral implications. Think of all the organs you can sell on the. Those kids aren't real. And they were threats. They were going to hurt him. Ultimately, the show wanted us to hate him, but I didn't end up hating him. I couldn't. He was meant to serve as an antagonist, but Wanda needed someone she could fight, and that's where we get Agatha Harkness. But a quick dig into Hayward. Did you notice how they had that scene where Vision was trying to crawl out of the hex in order to talk to everyone outside? Then they made it a really sad and emotional scene because Hayward wasn't letting Darcy get close to Vision or any of the agents. He told them all to stay back, while Vision was just crawling out and dying, and Darcy kept insisting that they go to him. Yeah, you know that in the end, Hayward was right to hold them back because the hex expanded and, well, Darcy was caught in it. Of course, she was handcuffed to the car, but still, it expanded. It would have caught all those people anyway. So, in that scene, they were trying to make Hayward seem like your seventh planet, but he was right. And it just adds to some sort of confusion. Like, what did the show want from this guy? Like, they really wanted to make him look bad. But at the same time, the situations that were written didn't make him bad. Yet in the end, he gets arrested. But okay, anyway, back to Agatha Harkness, a character no one saw coming. Everyone thought Mephisto was a bad guy for some reason. You fan theorists do know that Mephisto is a Ghost Rider villain, right? Why show him in a WandaVision show? Why show him in WandaVision first? Why show him at all? I watched this after all the backlash, all the theories, and more especially this year. I walked into this show knowing everything that would unfold. I just wanted to see it for myself so I can make a video about it for the channel so I can understand the show for myself. And I have to say, I enjoyed it. There was nothing that baited us into thinking that Mephisto was behind everything. It was Agatha all along, no pun intended. Yeah, she watched Wanda do all these things and wanted her power. I don't have much to say about her. Actually, she's a villain, and that's it, really. Now, about the show itself. It was good, but it was ruined for fans, by fans. All those fan theories that built these weird expectations ruined it for you. I don't remember them mentioning an aerospace engineer, and if they did, it must have been like once or something. Yet, all you people theorized for weeks that it would be Reed Richards or even Blue Marvel. Come on, guys. Be serious. And then the Mephisto thing. Then, when the Agatha reveal came on with a 30-second song, I timed it. You guys blew your excitement so out of proportion that Agatha Harkness is getting her own show. And you're complaining about that. Guys, this is how business works. If people like something, the business is going to give the people more. It's quick maths. I will give the fans points, though, for getting mad about Evan Peters. That was a real low blow. There's absolutely no way the showrunners didn't know what they were doing there. Anyway, let this show remind people of the lesson we learned from The Last Jedi, but somehow forgot. Don't let your fan theory overtake reality. Don't believe your own fan theory. It will ruin the experience for you. Anyway, to conclude the video, I just want to thank everyone who watched it and ask for support on helping the channel grow. You guys are the best. To any newcomers, welcome. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. So, yeah. I will see you when I'm done watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Also, did you know that the random commercials were meant to be revealed as Doctor Strange trying to break through the hex and communicate with Wanda, but Kevin Feige was against having Doctor Strange at all?